Welcome to this edition of the Flipper Guy, where I'm showing how to flip vehicles, everything from the beginning to the end. I have got a whole slew of parts that have shown up. We're going to go through a couple of those and some real quick tips on what to watch out for when you're getting parts. So we're going to do a standalone on that, but I'm just going to give you a few quick tips here. And probably one of the best tailgate breakdown videos that you're going to see, both in tutorial and in close-up. So we're going to have the tutorial, and at the end of the video you can get just right down close right with me as I'm putting it back together, so you can see each part as it goes back on and what is needed for socket sizes and stuff like that to install it. So you don't want to miss this. Well, we've got boxes upon boxes pouring in, so let's start putting some parts on here. So earlier in the video, and once again, anybody that's new here, you can go right down in the description. I've made it very, very easy for you to go through and see additional videos. I have playlists that are down in the description, so you just head down there and choose which playlist that you want, and boom. And with YouTube's new way of cycling videos, if you hadn't noticed that every time that you open up your feed, that you have the normal videos that you like to watch, and then there's always fresh videos, new videos all the time. So come on and join the community. Have some fun here, all right? So earlier back, a couple videos, I had showed that there was some broken parts on the truck and some other items that we had needed. This is the first one. Now, I got this off of eBay. Getting parts off of eBay has been an issue now for the last few years. This right here is a used OEM part. No issues with that. But counterfeit parts, one thing you're going to constantly hear me talk about is OEM original parts. Original manufactured parts are the highest quality that you can put on a vehicle. Stuff like starters and radiators, or there's a handful of things, and I'll point those out. But main electrical components and spark plugs and certain items, the problem with eBay, circling back here, there's a lot of counterfeit crap out there. I mean, just garbage. When you order a part and you're going to get it off of eBay and you get it, probably best if you went actually to the old Google machine and pulled up what the actual factory part looks like and compare them. If the packaging's different, you got a counterfeit part. And like I said, try staying away from eBay. There's a lot of counterfeit crap on there. Amazon does have some problems, but they usually clean it up really quick. But keep in mind that Amazon, going back to, let's say, the timing set that I put on here. Well, the timing set, just for the bottom gear, the two chains, the two phasers, a couple other minor parts in that kit, that is a Ford OEM, and that's about $970. On Amazon, you'll see these kits with more stuff in them, and they'll be like 200 bucks or 300 bucks. This stuff don't last. It's junk. You pay for what you get when you go with automotive parts, okay? So anyways, this here is used. I dug around on eBay. It pays to spend the time, all right? These were anywhere from $50 to $170. And really all I needed was this tray part right here, where it holds the filter. So this is all I really needed right here. But the point is that I dug around on eBay for quite a while, and with shipping to my door, this was 18 bucks. 18 bucks. The tray alone through Ford was close to $38. So now you're like, well, what am I going to do with this? Well, for me, because I pick on the same vehicles, and like I said, you're going to do the same thing, these do end up breaking or cracking. So you're going to have an extra one. You just put it on the shelf. Start making yourself an inventory list on your computer. I've got a sensor right here. We got a $60 sensor right there. All that, I got this stuff cheap. So do your due diligence and make sure that you're running the old Google machine, you're checking on eBay, you're checking on Amazon, you're checking on other parts places to, get the best quality at the cheapest price. So it's the little things like that that really sell a vehicle. People don't want to buy something that is broke. If they pop open the hood and they're taking a look around in here, and then they see this smashed tray, somebody who's got, a little bit of automobile knowledge, and they see that there's air getting in between the filter and the intake, meaning the throttle body, you could lose the sale immediately. Now I also have on order, not here yet, but there's a new air filter coming in. Why would I order an air filter through the old mail or have it delivered here? Well, what you're going to find is that, and once again, do your comparisons on parts. I can get myself a good Wix filter for $10 less by ordering it through Amazon. And if I was to go down to O'Reilly's, which is the big, Wix carrier, just some of these automotive parts stores have just gotten so far off base on their price, it's ridiculous. A local Napa store, for instance, they have a clear coat down there that I really like to use. It's a low-end clear coat. I can mix it to be a flat. I can mix it to be a high gloss. A gallon of it at my local Napa is $239 just for 1 gallon of clear. I can get the same product through Amazon and with the hardener for $109 delivered to my door. 1 gallon of clear coat with the hardener of my choice, $109. They always, the excuse used to be that, well, we've got this store and we've got employees and all that. Well, so does the other place that's selling it for $109. You think they got fucking robots running around putting stuff in boxes and shipping it out? UPS, FedEx, DHL, UPS, PS. They've got a building. They don't store the stuff outside underneath a tarp. They've got people. Got to put it in boxes. Got to inventory it. Got to get it off the truck. Got to put it on a shelf. So, it's all bullshit. I'm sorry, but if they go out of business, it's their own damn fault. I pointed this out to many of the places that I used to buy parts from, and it seems that after this COVID, that everybody has gone absolutely just insane. Lost their marbles completely on pricing. I don't mind running down to a local store, paying $10, $20 more for a part that I need or an item that I need, but when we're talking $130 more, no, forget it. So in the last video that you've seen, I went through and power washed the engine here, got all the grease and the grime and the gookies off of it. Once again, cleanliness is next to profitability. You want the thing to be clean. So when they open up the hood, it gives that new look, all right? Now, they have all kinds of this treatment, this protectant. Many different companies have it. Some of it is the really high gloss stuff. It's greasy. It really never dries. You have the medium, which still is way too high of a gloss. That's not a natural look, okay? It doesn't have to be this brand right here, but what you want to get is something that's just got natural looking or a natural shine, something that doesn't look like you purposely hosed it down. So it's got this high gloss. You want it to look as close to showroom floor as possible. So don't be spraying any of that high gloss crap on the interior or the engine. This right here does a fantastic job and makes it look like it is new, not rigged up to look new. Very important. I'll put a link to this down in the description. You can jump over to Amazon and get a couple selections of what I've got down in the description. Helps the channel out too, so I get a little commission. When every penny counts, I appreciate that. Next thing to mention, when you do a complete timing job, if you get this deep into it and you do a complete timing job that I did, Ford, when you do a oil change and a 5.43 valve, calls for 6 quarts. Since you have to take everything off and the phasers come off and everything gets emptied out and you're pulling off the roller followers, the lifters, that all has oil in it. Make sure that when you put, let's say, your 6 quarts in this engine right here, you start it, you run it just like you change the oil, stop, and pull out the dipstick. What you will find when you're doing timing jobs and there's phasers involved, you're going to need another quarter to full quart of oil in order to cover what normally just stays stagnant, stays static in the engine. So at the particular time when I redid the oil in here before startup, the local store where I get my oil, well, they didn't have 7 quarts. They only had 6, so here we go. Now, a word about oil. And you do what you want, all right? Now, I'm sure somewhere down along the line, I'm going to have a armchair, Taco Bell, Arby's, Pizza Hut expert on oil. This right here, this engine calls from the factory 5W30. Now, the reason why this calls for 5W30 is because Ford and other manufacturers are trying to hit this low EPA for mileage. Every mileage that they can crank out of this motor, including putting in substandard weight oil, they will do. Because they know it's going to make it out of warranty. And if it grenades after that, well, you're going to come back. Well, this 5W20 is way too thin. I used a 5W30. Now we got two reasons because of that. Number one is because I know 5W20 is like water, and once it gets hot, it's not doing its job. Number two is I put in the Melling 80 psi high volume, high output oil pump in here, and that is going to pump heavy duty through this whole engine, which is one of the problems that these engines have, is they didn't get enough oil. It's going to have all kinds of oil now with that pump that's in there. That is Melling, you know, secret. It's actually a race car oil pump is what it is. This thing hammers out a lot of oil. So let's move on to the back here. All right, this exercise right here is going to be about nobody wants to buy something that's smashed up. Now, I do have a dent remover kit, and I do have the dentless, paintless repair kit, but fact of the matter is that this was banged up so hard that the underside and the backside is dented, and there's no way of getting it out without having a bunch of warps in it. So we're going to change out the tailgate. What we want to do here, get the emblems off, and these just pull off just like so. This is just held in by a bunch of two-sided tape. Set that aside. So this emblem here is shot. Nothing makes for an easier sale than a brand new emblem. I ordered a brand new emblem off of Amazon, $9.59. $10 changes this whole thing from an old crappy used truck to something that's new. Very important. Then what we got to do is this rubber piece right here. Now keep in mind that plastic dents and also shows where you pry. So we want to come in from the back here. And in order to come into the back here, we need to remove this cover. Now, as you're working and you're doing it for the first few times, or you're even doing it for the 100th time, take your fasteners and put them in a bag or a tin can so you don't lose them. Then when you're taking stuff apart, remember which way it goes. Even if you have to take a piece of tape and put a piece of tape on there and mark the direction, make sure that you put everything back the way it was. Look at it, take a picture if you need be. That way you can go back and reference. You might get interrupted. It might be it could be 2 weeks before you get back to your flip because you're doing it part-time. Take pictures, take notes. That way when you come back to it, you can go, okay, well, you know, geez, I kind of forgot that. So boom, I got my pictures, I've got my notes, I've got my stuff in bags, I've got the bags marked. Where did those fasteners come from? So now we got access to this right here. These are hard to get off. What we don't want to do is bust the living heck out of the clips. If you do, I'll show you how to get it back on by using some certain adhesive. Next, we want to get the handle off. Make sure yours is not the model that has the backup camera. If it does, make sure that you unplug the backup camera. There's 2 nuts right here. And once again, for you, we got 2 nuts. We don't want to lose these nuts. Nothing sucks more is getting back to or during and going, oh, well, where did my nuts go? All right. I thought it was funny. You'll find any door handle or any type of handle on the back of the pickup truck here. You kind of got to jiggle it around. Now, if you're just replacing a handle, make sure you use masking tape on the opposite side so you don't scratch up any of the paint. But you just kind of jiggle it back and forth a little bit and jiggle it back and forth, and then it'll come right on out. So, a quick story here. If you watch the previous videos, YouTube is a wealth of information for free. Now, once again, go through, if you're going to do something like this, anything that you're doing that you're not quite sure how to do or you have no idea on how to do, go through a bunch of videos, watch multiple videos, because whoever is showing it usually misses 1 or 2 things. Very few of them are absolutely complete. But the funny story is I'm watching some guy in an auto body shop trying to take this tailgate off. And he's like, well, I can't get it off, so what I had to do is remove these bolts here, which I'm telling you are a bitch. These things are really hard to get off. There's 2 of them here that hold this on. He actually spent the time by hand, and then underneath here, which there's not a whole lot of room here. I mean, we got nothing for room. Removing it with a wrench. Watch several videos. Not everybody is a professional. This tailgate has been on here since forever and a day. This tailgate has been on since 2008, and if it is original, which the way it looks, it is going to be a bear to get off. So all he had to do was pick it up, got the little tabs on the side here. That's it. Did not have to take these off. All right. From here, we want to get the guts out. So this right here is just a flip-up tab. And this right here is another flip-up tab. Pops out, and voila. We got this piece right here. Now, first time doing it, make sure that you mark it which direction is up. Next step here, we gotta get these locks out of here. So we've got that fastener. Then we got the bottom one that holds the strap. And then we have a little clip that's held in right here. This one's fallen off. But you just pull it down and pull it back towards you. And this is the little clip right here. Then we have this stopper right here. That just unscrews. Now, before I jump to that, we're going to take the torsion bar out of here. That's what keeps it so it doesn't slam down. Now, you don't have to, do not take this bolt out all the way. Just take it out a 1/2 inch. We're good. There's a little clamp inside of there that squeezes down on this torsion bar, and if you take that bolt out all the way, you could end up losing parts inside if you're just switching out the torsion bar. Since I'm switching this out completely, I could have just taken it out all the way, but you get the gist of it. So this right here is attached to a torsion that goes all the way through to where I just pulled that bolt out a 1/2 inch. If this is frozen in here, hit it with some penetrating oil first, hit it with some heat, or in this case, which I've already done, I actually had to take my grinder and I put a little cut, not cutting in to this, but just this metal. I just put a little cut here and a little cut over the top because she was frozen in real good. So this is what we're trying to get out of here. And it's a bear if it's been in there for many years to get out. So just work it slowly, you know, don't be going after this stuff with big sledgehammers. If it doesn't want to come out, some tapping here, some tapping there, some pulling here, some pulling there, so you don't end up wrecking anything. There. And out she comes, and this is where it connects right here. You can see the flat end. That's where it connects inside of there. So when you're sliding it back in, you got to catch that hole and then lock that bolt in right here by tightening it up. So this right here goes on the junk pile. There's no use in keeping it around. We couldn't benefit from any parts coming off of this, so in the junkyard she goes. So there you have it. Not a very difficult job. Now we've got a brand new tailgate on here. I'm not going to put the top on. All you would have to do is just put it on, line it up, and just do that all the way down. Pop those clips back in. Now, if you wrecked a lot of those clips, but there's a good handful of them left, one of your options is to take windshield adhesive and pour a nice bead, nice good 3/8 bead all the way down, then tap it into place. If you broke most of the tabs that are on top of this protective cover, then just order a brand new one. They're not very expensive. But once again, I'm not putting mine back on because I've got to paint this. So I hope you've learned something today, and we will see you on the next episode of Daflipperguy.